Good morning, guys. All right, so we've got a few decent movers. Volume still overall pretty low throughout the market, but we have CODX making a big push here, gapping up from 444 to 588. AMRH gapping up from 80.5 cents to 156. RSLS gapping up from 410 to 436. Twitter gapping up from 37.88 to 39.43 with a lot of volume on that one. Then we got a few other good movers as well. Let me fix this really quick. There we go. Let's see. Then we have KNDI gapping up after a big drop yesterday. We have Snapchat moving some. DCPH I'm looking at for a short just because it had this huge push from about 25 to 38 yesterday. Sitting at 35 now, right over the VWAP. If it breaks under the VWAP and starts to wash, I'm definitely going to look to short it possibly. What else? We have AMD, RSLS, but I think I already got that one. Let me find a few that I missed. Let's see, we have ATHX for a small gap. KNDI, I think I went over that one. Yeah, that's basically all I have thus far. Still kind of looking to see if I can find anything else. Let me know if you guys see anything else moving. But let's see if any of these are tradable first. RSLS is tradable. AMRH is not. That was one of my favorite ones, so I'm kind of bummed out. I wanted to short it. Twitter's tradable. CODX is tradable. KNDI is tradable. Snapchat is tradable. DCPH is tradable. AMD is tradable. And that's it so far. Yeah, I've been up for about an hour. My son woke up early this morning. So yeah, I'm awake. CBSI. See, I wish it would move a little bit more. Good morning, Marty. What's up, man? Eric Wade, what's up? Good morning. Samuel, good morning. Seven, good morning. Salty, good morning. Atheon, good morning. Oh, yeah. So, still kind of looking to see if I can find anything else. But I'd have to look at some down gappers, see if I can get some down gapping low of the day shorts going on. So for down gappers, you can see BDR. Big drop. Huge drop. Look at this drop from 220 all the way down to $1. That's a sketchy drop right there. A&W, another drop. BDR, look at these drops. CPRX, TEDU, another drop. ASNA. Alright, so this one looks more interesting. JKS looks interesting just because if it can get under this low at 12.56, I'll definitely consider shorting it there. So I'm gonna watch this one. Depending on whether I can trade any of these other penny stocks. A&W isn't tradable. BDR, what? Can't trade BDR either. Can't trade AVXL. Alright, so now that we have JKS on our watch list, let's look at AXON. I might watch AXON. What's VKTX doing from the last few days? It's still moving up way more than it was, so gonna keep an eye on this one. Looking at Fran. Gonna watch Kron as well. Alright, so last night I spoke with Atheon on the phone. And we started going over hold on, CHEK. Yeah, CHEK looks halfway decent. Yeah, I do like CHEK. I'm gonna add CHEK on my watch list as well. CLDC. No volume. Most likely isn't tradable. Looks like a really low floater. Yeah. I could trade CHEK though. But anyways. What's up, Mitch? Good morning, man. Good morning, Marvin. Alright, so like I was saying, I spoke with Atheon yesterday on the phone, and we started going over something that he's been working on, which is called Camarilla points. These are them right here. I'm probably going to put them in one of these stocks today, test it out. You can see TradeNet did in fact charge me for that one missed trade. You can see TradeNet did in fact charge me for that one trade that it exited me out of, so now I'm down $10 on this account, which is aggravating. Right. If SSR is on KNDI, what do you mean by that, Mitch? What's up, John? Good morning, Best, Salty, Ronald, Marvin. Hope everyone's having a good morning. CODX is probably my favorite one this morning. Huge gap from 444 to 577. And I'm also looking at a few shorts. DCPH under this level right here is where I'm looking to short it, maybe down to 32. But this one's had such a huge range. Got to be careful with it. So let's look up the news on some of these stocks. First one I'm going to look at is CODX. Waiting for my thinkorswim to load, so just give me a second. There it goes. Alright. CODX is the first one. Let's see. All right, so CODX came out with a press release that said it announces advancement of coprimers technology in multiplex SNP genotype. Basically, the proof of study was successful in showing the potential of SNP multiplexing applications. And so a good press release for CODX. The really curious level I'm watching with this one is right here at this 592 level. You know, see if it can hold over this. That was the high of yesterday. If it falls under that, maybe a good short down to 550 or 5 even, depending on how that one acts. Another one I'm looking at is CHEK. No news on CHEK. RSLS is the next one. Alright, so yeah, it did have a new thing come out for it. It says they announced a new patent grant expanding its bioelectronic neuromodulation portfolio. I can pronounce all that. I can't pronounce portfolio. But yeah, so that's good news for it. Yeah, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office granted a method and device patent to the company. And so that's good news for RSLS. It's actually not moving as much as I would think. Kind of choppy, low volume with it. So we'll see how that one acts. The next one I'm looking at is Twitter. And so it says Twitter stock rises after news of S&P inclusion. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at the news on Twitter. Twitter stock price target was raised to 45 from 40 at Casin Securities. Let's see what else. You know, so basically Twitter is up in the last few days because the S&P Dow Jones said that the company would be joining the S&P 500 for Twitter. So Twitter's going to be included on the S&P 500 now. And so I think that's causing it to gap up. His price target was also raised. And so that's, you know, ultimately a bunch of good things for Twitter. We'll see how high it can go. This one was previously all the way up to, I guess it's right around the highs of the year. So this is an interesting level right here at 39.47. But it's right around 40 now, so this one's interesting. All right, moving on. Next one I'm looking at is KNDI. I'm going to remove these for now and then add them before the market opens. Just because it clouds up the screen a little bit. So yeah, the next one I'm looking at is KNDI. KNDI doesn't really have any news out on it thus far. It dropped yesterday because it says KNDI Tech Group acquires Sportsman Country LLC. Alright, so yeah, it's entered into a membership interest transfer agreement with the two members of Sportsman Country LLC. So KNDI will acquire 100% of it. So that's good news for KNDI, I guess. I guess that's why it's gapping up in pre. This one's interesting to watch to see kind of how it acts here. It's gapping up about 70 cents, and so we'll see how this one moves. Another one I'm looking at is Snapchat. It's gapping up a very small amount. It's a higher float stock, obviously, but looks interesting. See how it acts around here. All right, so Snapchat might have had some bad news come out with it. There's a press release out right now that says Germany's Continental bans WhatsApp and Snapchat from internal global network, citing data protection issues. So, German car parts supplier Continental said that it prohibited employees from downloading both Snapchat and WhatsApp. They're both owned by Facebook on their work mobile phones with immediate effect. It's Continental Tires, if you were wondering what company it was. So yeah, it basically said the both of those, like WhatsApp and Snapchat, suffer from users' personal and confidential info, such as contacts and stuff like that. And so they didn't like it. They banned their employees from using it. Man, that's scary. You know, the whole thing about WhatsApp is supposed to be encrypted to where you're safer using WhatsApp, but apparently that's not the case. I didn't know that about Snapchat. I've never really used Snapchat, but that's interesting. All right, the next one I'm looking at is DCPH. You can see this one had a crazy move yesterday. Right before the close, this thing went up from $26.95 all the way to $38.43. So I'm looking at a short. This one's up so much already. Oh, it's a public offering. It's a public offering of 3,750,000 in shares of its common stock. In addition, it intends to grant the underwriters a 30-day option to purchase up to 562,000 shares of common stock. So this is an offering. Okay, that kind of makes sense. I mean, it was a slug ride up, though. Interesting. All right, the next one I'm looking at is VKTX, but I don't think VKTX has any news. So I'm moving on to JKS, which is the last one I'm looking at. You can see a big drop yesterday, down from about 18 down to 12.50, and then a bounce to 14, and the rest of the day is back down to 13.20. Watching this one under that low of the day. I think if it breaks under there, it looks weak, and so we'll see how this one acts. All right, so JKS signed a 1.43 gigawatt supply agreement with S Power in the US. I don't know why, but for some reason that's making it drop. JKS supplies 1.3 gigawatt GW module to S Power. And no financial terms were disclosed, and so that's interesting. It had some bad news that came out for it yesterday. I'm looking at the bottom left chart on Thinkorswim, which is JKS right here. All right, so price targets were cut for JKS. It was cut to sell from neutral by Roth Capital. So it's interesting. I can't really see what happened with this one. Okay, so solar stocks were hurt a little bit Monday after the China government late last week moved to cut subsidies for the industry instead of 10 gigawatt distributed generation quota. All right, so yeah, they cut subsidies for the solar companies in China. So China solar companies had some subsidies cut, and thus that is why JKS is down. So that makes sense. We'll see what happens with it today. And yeah, that's basically it thus far. Yeah, I gotta catch back up on the chat. APRU, Eric. That's a penny stock. I usually don't touch penny stocks. Not. Here's the thing. My favorite stocks to trade are in between 50 cents and $15. I rarely ever trade a stock that's under 1 cent. I just think they're inherently risky. And plus, I don't invest money. And at the same time, I don't have access to the OCT markets. The OTC markets. I can't trade the OTC, the over-the-counter markets. TradeNet doesn't allow me to. I can't trade any OTC stock, and so, I hope it works out. It looks strong today, but I hope it works out for you, man. It's just not my bread and butter. It's just not my style, Nice steady grind up though. Yeah, no worries, Marvin. Appreciate you coming back and watching today, man. Forgive me, guys. My nose is a little stopped up. Might sound a little stopped up today. Good morning, TJ. Outsiders. Samuel. Yeah, like I said, man. They ended up charging me for both positions. You can see I ended yesterday. I ended down like $3. So if it would have been the original trade, I would have only been down $6 for today, and my account would have been at 13,994. But with that first trade, they charged me for entering it and exiting it, even though I never clicked the sell button. And so I don't know what happened with it. I've messaged them. Hopefully they reimburse that to me. I'll let you guys know how that goes. But yeah, kind of weird. But yeah, Twitter's kind of going crazy today. I'm still kind of looking, see if I can find anything else. Yeah, it was strange, Asadis. I don't know what happened. It was really frustrating too because, for instance, I think, what was the stock? I think it was CRON. So CRON, I entered this thing at, if you look at the chart here, I entered it way down here at 678. And, I would have made at least 10 cents on the trade, would have been break even. It ended up exiting me right at break even, right at 678. And so I didn't even realize it exited the trade for me because, I just thought it was at break even. And so once it started to drop and my profit and loss stayed the same, I realized that I wasn't in the position anymore. I clicked position right here on TradeNet and nothing showed up like this. And so I got back in the trade at a worse point. I think I got back in at 670 or whatever it was. And, I ended up exiting it at about 680, so it would have been, my loss of the day would have only been like $3 if it didn't do that yesterday, but instead it was 10. So a $7 loss essentially is what, that error on TradeNet's part caused me. Although, I will say it's pretty rare that this happens. I've been trading on TradeNet since November of last year, I think, and I've never had anything like that happen. So I think it's just kind of an outlier. I think stuff like that is bound to happen sometimes with any broker. But yeah, it's definitely aggravating regardless. Hey, I hope it works out for you, Mr. Eric. Good luck, man. Yeah, I know if you can get in a lot of those penny stocks early, a lot of them can go supernova. I don't know enough about them, you know what I mean, to really jump into them. It's just not something I'm used to trading. I think I still I own like 10,000 shares of like, you know, I can't remember the ticker name, but I own 10,000 shares, and it's just because when I was just learning to trade a few years ago, when I was just kind of playing around in the stock market, I made an account with Options Express, and I deposited like 20 bucks. And then I couldn't afford any regular stocks, any like significant amount of any regular stock. And so I went into the penny stock land and I just bought 10,000 shares of this random stock. And I'm still holding it. I don't even know if it's up or down. I haven't looked at it. Maybe one day it'll go to $10 and I'll be rich, you know. But until then, who knows? What's the symbol, Patrick? There's also, I mean, I can't trade this one, but AMRH looks okay. Maybe you can trade it AMRH. You can see it's getting a lot of volume. This is probably my second favorite one of the day. Look at this volume from 80 cents all the way to 188, so it's up, you know, over $1 since it closed yesterday. IFON doesn't look too bad. I don't know if I can trade it or not. No, I can't, unfortunately. What was the one that was moving yesterday? AETI. Yeah, this may be one to watch. I don't think I can trade it, but AETI still up a ton. Yeah, not tradable, unfortunately. Oh, PTOTF. Let me see. Looks OTC. Yeah, it's OTC, so I just can't trade it. Like I said, I don't really, the daily chart doesn't look bad, but like I said, I've never really, I can't really trade OTC stocks, and so I don't know much about them. I'm kind of ignorant of the volume and everything else that's kind of about penny stocks. I just don't know enough about them to trade them, and the volume just looks really low. It looks like more of an invest trade, but who knows? I don't know enough about them. ADOM. Yeah, ADOM doesn't look too bad. I want to see some more volume though. Yesterday it moved some, but really the last week or so it's just had really low volume. It just hasn't been moving much. And so the volume, if the volume picks up, it looks interesting, but if not, I probably won't mess with it. Not necessarily. TJ, most of the time they're just cheaper penny stocks that don't have volume. So I guess you could say it's volatility, but it's more volume. The stock has to be had. I think there's like a set limit of like amount of shares traded per day, and they try to add more volatile stocks. Like for instance, what was it? It may have been CODX, but one of these big movers in the last few days. I think it was VKTX. So VKTX was not tradable a week ago or so, but after it made this big move, they actually added it because it was volatile and it had enough volume. And so I think it's more, if it has low volume, a lot of times it's not tradable. Where if the volume picks up like VKTX did, they'll actually add it and make it tradable since it had so much volume. Yeah, AMRH looks good, Brendan. Unfortunately, I can't trade this one. But it looks really good. I actually like it for a short. But, like I said, unfortunately, it's just not tradable in TradeNet today. Up to 207, though, holding over this $2 point. Oh, I forgot to plug my speakers in. If anybody subs since I turned the stream on, appreciate it. Ryan, Elijah, SJ, appreciate the subscribe. Alright, sorry about that. I had to go grab something to drink. MCF. Want to see more volume. I mean, it had a big spike, a $4 million volume candle. So we'll see how that one goes as well. It looks somewhat interesting. Teacher's pet, I'm not sure. Whatever looks good after the open happens. Swedish stocks, Patrick. I don't know, man. I don't know if I've ever seen a Swedish stock. Yeah, that's right, 7. Hey, man, we're almost there, dude. I'm at like 4,009 or 3,950 is right around where I'm at. I think I'm at 3,955 the last time I checked. So almost there, man. 45 more subscribers and I'm at the 4K mark, so alright guys, so we got about 4 minutes until the open. Watching a few interesting ones. Hopefully we'll get some more movement after the bell rings. Because as of now, I mean, the volume's been a little low. CODX looks good. But aside from that, I mean, not too much I really like. AMC. Nice, Patrick. Hey, good job, bro. Congrats, man. That's a good gain. AMC, Looks like a higher float stock for sure. Very small range. And so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I like this one necessarily. We'll see. Oh, Eric said PFE. Alright, so yeah, I'll go ahead and add, I told Atheon I'm going to try out this Camarilla points today on one of my charts. Let me see. Try to figure out which one to do it on. I guess I can try with Twitter. Alright, so these are Camarilla points. I wish they were labeled though. I don't know which one's H3. Good morning, Rise. Good morning, Sense. Oh wait, it's outside the rules? Alright. Maybe I'll try JKS. I have JKS on my other screen. Okay. Alright guys, market opens up in a minute. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on SBOT as well. I saw it. I'd like to see a little bit more volume with SBOT though, SBOT. Alright guys, market opens up. Yeah, that might be a better idea, Atheon. I gotta learn it a little bit more. I gotta memorize the colors. Because even though I have this screen, it still says R3, R4. So I'll try to do that once the stream ends. Maybe make a video about it. Alright guys, market opens up in 20 seconds. Good luck. Alright, here's the bell, guys. Sorry for the noise, 7. Alright, Snapchat up. Snapchat testing this 249 high of pre-market. Hey, sweetie. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hello.
You gotta say something. My daughter wanted to say hi to everybody. Alright. Alright, Snapchat is moving up. It's up to 1256. Breaking the high of pre-market. What's up, Jack? Good morning, man. Twitter dropping down some. So Snapchat looks interesting if it holds over this 1250 level. All right. All right, so CODX has fallen down. Watching it. Also watching RSLS under 4. It looks somewhat interesting as well. CODX is breaking under this low right here. AMRH seems like a really big mover. Yeah, look at AMRH. I wish I could trade this one, but it's not tradable on TradeNet. Twitter having a washout long here, breaking over these highs. There it goes, up to 39.70. OPG in. Moving some. NDRA. You can see NDRA is waking up, guys. NDRA. And it is tradable, but I don't know if I want to test it. I'm definitely not going to short it right now. Maybe let it get extended first. All right, so DCPH is pushing up some. It's at 38.35. Still keeping an eye on Snapchat here. Maybe if it breaks under this low, I'll think about it. I think NDRA was halted on the way up. It's at 285 now. Crazy move. CODX making another push up. FRA in here. You can see FRA in starting to move. Coming back after this big gap down. NDRA having a little bit of a spike. CLDC is moving some. You can see CLDC starting to run here. It's testing this 350 level. CODX washout long. It's breaking over the whole $1.06. Jack, Nightbot is a program that automatically says stuff and makes announcements every few minutes. So I don't think Nightbot can talk back unless you're trolling it. Alright, Twitter, big drop. CLDC broke over the $0.50. Yeah, I gotta start taking advantage of these washout long setups more. There's the pre-market high break after a washout long on CODX. This thing might start to go crazy now. Gotta take better advantage of it. Up to 650. Nice, Rise. Good job. Alright, so Twitter looks interesting if it breaks under these lows at 39.25. Keep an eye on that. Same thing with Snapchat. If it starts to kind of tank and starts to drop under these lows at 12.30, I may consider it. CODX, after that washout long, man, this thing's going crazy. Up to 650 right now. CLDC looked really good as well. Oh yeah, for sure, Marty. That thing's going crazy right now. Alright, so here's Snapchat dropping under this 1250 level. This is one that I might jump into. Depending on if it holds under 1250 or not. See if it breaks under the VWAP and holds underneath it. Yeah, for a short bias trader, I mean, days like today aren't great. Just because everything's kind of moving up. Alright, so here's Snapchat. Watching it under this low right here. There's the break. Looking for a bounce to jump in at on Snapchat. Alright, so I'm in Snapchat with 100 shares thus far. We'll see if it continues heading up, or heading down, I mean. Alright, so there's a bounce on Snapchat. I guess that's to be expected here. Man, quick bounce though. Might be faking me out here. We'll see. Alright, so there's a drop down a little bit more. Down to 42. We'll see if it can crack back under there. Alright, so it's back to 38, 37. I gotta learn to add on these bounces. 36. Looking weak here. Let's see if it continues here. See if it could keep falling. Hold that 1240 area as resistance is what I'm ultimately looking for. Big drop on CODX here. Look at that drop. Down to 618. About to test the VWAP. All right, so there's the low of the day break on Snapchat. Let's see if we can follow it through here and get me some target down to a little bit lower. A little worried it may bounce at 1230. Yeah, KNDI, I do see this weakness, especially if it can get under this $4 level here. It looks good. I should have added on this bounce. These bounces ultimately happen a lot of the time. And so I got to learn to add on these bounces. But it's going in my direction, so we'll see what happens with it. VKTX, I missed this one completely. This one kind of went crazy. Look at VKTX here. The only concerning thing about Snapchat right now is that if you look at, what was it, Twitter's doing the same thing, and this thing's following Twitter pretty closely here. And so Twitter's bouncing now, so that's concerning a little bit. We'll see. I also don't like that down wick in Snapchat. I'll let it test 1240. If it breaks 1240, I'll jump out of it. Quick bounce, and I'm out for a $6 loss. Yeah, I just don't like the bounce. I mean, if it drops down, so be it, but I just don't like the bounce. Watching KNDI here, if it breaks under 4 is kind of what I'm looking at now. I appreciate the sub, Alexander. Welcome in, appreciate it. Yeah, the reason I'm concerned with this one is because you can see Twitter and Snapchat are kind of following each other, very, very similar. And Twitter is coming all the way back around the highs here. And so because of that, it makes me trust Snapchat a little bit less. Another one I'm watching is JKS here. Good morning, Tiny. Yeah, you can see I'm watching JKS here for a short. If it breaks under 13, it's testing the VWAP now, just broke over it. But what I'd ultimately like to see is it continue falling here. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's rough, Rice. Twitter coming all the way back here. Breaking the high day on Twitter. Watching KNDI, although this is a nickel spreader, and I usually don't like those. You can see the spread's constantly 5 cents. Good morning, Ant. BLNK. You can see DCPH here having a big move. Yeah, you can see that's why I ultimately got out of Snapchat. Big bounce. Glad I got out when I did. AMRH. Yeah, I can't mess with AMRH. It's not tradable and trade none, unfortunately. Fran. Look at Fran here. Watching CODX here, maybe for a short, especially if it gets under these lows at 560. But CODX is looking weak after that big push. ABEO waking up some. So here's KNDI. I usually don't like these nickel spreaders. We'll see though. It's a 10-cent spread now. That's the only thing stopping me from getting into this one. But KNDI breaking under these lows. You see QD starting to run up to 695, breaking over the high of the day on QD. And CODX is looking more and more interesting here. Twitter's still kind of consolidating around the highs. Keep an eye on JKS here still. I appreciate the sub, Raza. RSLS here. Starting to tank. Big downwick. Crazy spread too. Don't like the spread. Maybe thinking about VKTX for a short. Look at Fran here, man. This thing's going crazy. Up from 516 at its lows and pre-market and after hours up to 609 now. The closing high of yesterday was at 610. Looking at CLDC as well. I don't think I can trade it, but CLDC moving. IDXG maybe. BDR. They removed IDXG from TradeNet. It used to be tradable. Appreciate the sub. Herbert, appreciate it, man. Welcome. Alright, so Fran's testing that 610 high of yesterday, just broke it. This thing's a little crazy right now for me to want to jump in though. PI making a run. PI breaking over 19, the whole dollar. Getting a volume spike, although the volume's still relatively low. Looking at JKS here. If we can crack under these 1280 low, I might consider shorting it. It's got to look weak though. SOI starting to tank. ATI. Big jump in VKTX. Yeah, summer trading's definitely here though. Volume is ultimately pretty low in the market. It's kind of a bummer. One thing I'm noticing though, guys, with my trading specifically, is that it kind of goes by week. Like, for instance, one week I'll have a really good week, and then the next week I'll do poorly. The next week I'll do good, and then the next week I'll do poorly. And so I think it's the market overall. One week my trades will be very, uh, effective. They'll be reliable, and then one week they're just not. So it's interesting to pick that up. Still looking at JKS here, under 1280 maybe for a short. Got to use really small shear size with this one just because it has such a big range thus far today. VKTX making that push, testing that previous resistance level at about 990. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on KNDI. It's one of those nickel spreaders, those 5-cent spreaders. Don't really like those. But I'll watch it. I mean, it looks like a good setup if it starts dropping under 4, though. Maybe down to 360. Biggest watch thus far is probably JKS here. Yeah, Tiny, I don't know what it is. It's like it rotates. There's like a cycle. Like one week is good for trading, one week is bad. And so I think I need to be a little bit more selective. But yeah, I don't know why that goes on. Still kind of watching CODX here. If it could break under 550, it looks interesting. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. There's the Sogo. Yeah, I like a bounce here. It's got to have a bounce for an entry, but I do like this one. We'll see if it can bounce up to this 1121 point. I'm going to wait for a bounce at the whole dollar of 11 for Sogo, but I do like that one, so appreciate it, Mitch. I didn't see that one. Looking for a whole dollar bounce here on Sogo. Stop would be at 11.20 if I do get in. Also, CODX is looking more promising here. Under 550 to be specific. Alright, there's the bounce. I'm going to short it into this bounce on Sogo. 30 shares is what I have thus far. Maybe add if it breaks down under 11. Not a bad risk reward trade though, because if it breaks over 11.20, you know, that's kind of my cue to jump out of it. Yeah, that's a good entry, Atheon. Hey, I'm going to check those out for sure. Keep an eye on CODX here, like I said. If it holds this previous area right here, 560 as resistance, and then breaks under the half dollar, it looks interesting. There's a quick bounce in Sogo. We'll see. CODX ended up bouncing over that 560 support level. I mean, the good thing about this is that my risk is relatively low. I mean, if it breaks 11.30 or 11.25, that's kind of my cue to jump out. We'll see, though. I want to see it hold that 11.20 area as resistance first. There's a bounce up to 1125. Not really what I wanted to see, but it still can hold this 1127 point as resistance. And so we'll see. I just don't want to see it start reversing back up to this 1135 point. It's kind of a big bounce though right now, so I don't know if I necessarily feel good about the trade. But small sizing. I really wish I could have shorted AETI right here. It's just not tradable, but this looked like a good short at 164. Yeah, we'll see what KNDI does. Just like I said, it's a 5-cent spreader, which I usually don't like to mess with because the spread is always 5 cents, and they usually move a little bit slow, but we'll see. Appreciate the sub, Will. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Still kind of bouncing with Sogo here. Volume's just a little low, so it makes me like it a little bit less. Yeah, I don't know if Sogo is going to work out. Today's one of those days where none of the patterns are working. Every time it breaks under a low, it kind of fakes you out. And so I'll probably be done after this trade. I can kind of just see it. Like today's one of those days where nothing's really following through. Every setup I get into is kind of reversing on me after I get into it. And so I got to be able to step away if the patterns aren't working. You know, it breaks the low of the day, immediately bounces off of the whole dollar of 11 and bounces back. So might just be one of those days, fellas. Kind of watching DCPH here. Maybe looks like a good short, depending on how it acts. Right here at 1179. It has a huge range in it thus far, though. The only thing kind of scared me out of it. Fran? Yeah, Fran. This thing completely filled that entire gap. I saw this one earlier. Filled this entire gap back up to 612. Yeah, that was the play to make. Nice little flag consolidation there. Oh yeah, for sure, Atheon. Let's see if the market bounces some. What's the SPY doing? SPY's up. All right, so we'll see if Sogo can continue dropping back down. Now it's kind of now I'm just trying to find a good exit. VKTX here. Look at VKTX. It's starting to get pretty close to that high of the day. Today's definitely a long day, so I'm probably sitting in fire here trying to short everything. I need to work on my long setup more for days like today just because shorting's not always going to be a good idea every market day. Some days are going to be long days, and I got to focus on my long setups more. I really want to focus on washout longs, kind of like you see CODX right here. Breaks this high at $6 and then just runs up to $6.65. Don't really like what Sogo's doing here. Flagging a little bit, bouncing off of that 1120 support. And so it could make a strong move upward. I'm getting ready to get out if it does. Yeah, I'll let it test that 1133 resistance and then I'll jump out if it doesn't. I appreciate the sub, Mercenary. Welcome in. Appreciate it. Got to get ready to get out of Sogo here. I'm watching CODX though. If it can eventually break under these lows, it looks interesting, but I want to see that previous support turn into resistance first. Yeah, Mitch, there's a lot of fake outs today, man. Alright, I'm out. Yeah, I got out for a $6 loss. Yeah, there's just a lot of fake outs today. No patterns are really fulfilling and following through that I see, at least on the short side. And so it's just tough to take advantage. You can see this one just dipped below the low of the day, bounced off of 11 to fake everybody that went short out. And then now it's just kind of consolidating, flagging on the upside. And so I could see this one pushing up some more. Big drop on VKTX here. Still watching JKS. It's found a lot of support at this 1280 level, so if it drops under there, I may consider shorting it down to this 1260 level, 1250. And besides this, I don't see much else I really like. Today's kind of one of those choppy days, summer days. GBR. Yeah, it usually fails. Yeah, good call, Salty. Look at this thing, man. This thing is perfect for shorts. Every spike it fails. Every single one. Yeah, I'm going to make a mental note of that, Salty. Appreciate it. Because, yeah, this thing, if you look at the daily, Salty's 100% right. This is like short heaven right here. Every day that it spikes any significant way, it immediately crashes. Take, for instance, this May 29th run. Let's look at May 29th right here. Went up to $1.94, immediately washed back down. NDRA. Yeah, NDRA looks interesting. I mean, volume's low. Actually, volume's not low. Sorry. Volume was good. Maybe interesting under 350. We'll see, though. It may continue to find that area of support. I just got to be more selective with my trades, I think. One thing that really did me really well in the past few months is waiting for previous support to turn into resistance first. The last few days I've been just jumping in when it breaks the low, but I think the way to do it is you wait for that previous support to turn into resistance, and if it does, that's when you jump in. Like, I can even use Sogo as an example. It broke under this 1120 low, but when it tried to hold this previous 1120 support as resistance, it failed and it ended up breaking through it. And so that's kind of a indicator that I should follow. All right, see you, Mitch. And as of now, I don't see too much I really like. I mean, JKS, if it breaks those lows eventually, looks okay, but it's just kind of choppy right now. Sogo ended up reversing, faking everybody out. Aside from that, yeah, I don't see too much I like. The only one I really like that may be interesting is CODX if it eventually breaks under those lows. That's the only one that looks interesting. If CODX ends up cracking under these at 550, I might jump in short down to maybe 525. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. Everybody go check out Mitch's channel. Let me see. I'll try to find it, post the link here. Everybody go check out Mitch's channel. He's streaming. He should be streaming once I end. And so go check out Mitch. He should be streaming him trading on TradeNet with his scanners up. So go check him out. And yeah, not a great day. Last week was much better than this week. And so we'll see if I can turn the week around in the upcoming days. Not the best day for trading. I don't think. A lot of fake outs today. None of the patterns and kind of low of the days. Shorts are really fulfilling and following through. And so it's just a tough day to trade overall. I think I need to be a little bit more selective on days like today. It's just not stereotypical. It's just general summer trading. Summer trading's usually like this. And so it's kind of a bummer that the volume's starting to die down in the market. I did get in some Sogo Merrill. It ended up reversing. I got in here at the low of the day break at about 11:20. And it eventually just popped back up to 11:42, just faked me out. So the only thing I see I could have done better is, one, I could have waited to get a little bit higher entry so my risk wasn't as high. Also, I could have waited for this 11:20 area to hold as resistance first. I think that would have been a much better plan with Sogo. But yeah, very small loss overall. Down $12 on the day, so very small, minimal loss. But yeah, everybody go check out Mitch's channel. And good luck for the rest of the day, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll go ahead and post Mitch's link one more time. And see you later, guys. Have a good day. Oh yeah, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I day trade live on stream every weekday morning. And so if you could hit the subscribe button and join us tomorrow, that would be awesome. If you want to do me a favor, everybody click the like button right now on this video if you're still watching. I appreciate any support I can get. You know, I put myself out there every day and let people watch me day trade live, win or lose. And so if you could click the like button to show your support, I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, like I said, good luck for the rest of the day. I'll see you all tomorrow at the same time.